Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Dr. Boyce Watkins from FinancialJuneteenth.com, and I want to talk to you about having kids and the financial implications of having kids. Now, first and foremost, I want to give a big congratulations to Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, who just announced that they're about to have Northwest Part 2, which maybe, I guess, they should call the baby Southwest or Midwest or East West, but East West reminds me of the East Coast West Coast beef, so we don't want that name. But congratulations to him. That's what's up. I'm happy for him. Kanye and I both live in Chicago. I've never met Kanye, but apparently we might know the same people. He's mentioned my name a couple times in the press, so maybe he's gonna see this. I don't know. If he does, how you doing, man? I respect you. Now, here's the thing. I'm not here to just talk about people having babies. That's interesting enough. Good for them. Actually, there's a deeper part of this. In that kids are very expensive. There are huge financial implications to having kids. In fact, a recent study showed that it costs an average of $250,000 to raise a baby from birth to the age of 18. So having a child is a huge financial responsibility. In fact, the way the amount varies depends on where you live. In the Northeast, it can be as much as $500,000. In rural towns, like let's say a small town in Alabama, it might only cost you $150,000. But either way, it's a whole lot of money. And a couple of things that really come to mind are, well, first of all, the reason that it costs so much is because I think the main factors were like transportation and housing. Just getting the baby around and having a place for the baby to live, that's very, very expensive. But then you throw in the fact that daycare will break you. In case you would never pay for daycare, daycare is sickeningly expensive. In fact, daycare costs more than rent in half the cities across the United States. So these expenses are nothing to sneeze at or to look past. And a lot of people don't think about that when they think about having a baby. A lot of people don't even think about having a baby when they're making a baby, right? Because, they think, oh, well, she looks good or he looks good and I'm just going to get some, we're going to get it in. And then next thing you know, somebody's pregnant. And then you got to deal with all of that, right? So one of the things I always tell my daughters is, look, every date is a potential mate. And every mate is a potential baby daddy, father, husband, whatever you want to make him into. And so one of the things you want to really think about is in terms of where you put your body is the fact that it's horrible to be tied for life to somebody you don't even like or don't even know. And then it's even worse when that baby gets to be about 5 or 6 and the baby's like, well, where's my daddy at? How come I don't have a daddy? And you got to explain everything to the child. So, be thoughtful about that major investment that you make. I mean, the financial investment is big, but really the bigger investment is your body, your life, your health, your well-being, your future. Invest those things in places and with people that are worth it for you, not people that are going to mess it all up for you. The other thing too, as far as kids go, I can say this: when I was 21 years old, I was saving for my kids when I was 21. Even though I did have a daughter when I was 18, but I eventually adopted some kids later on, and I got some guy kids I treat as my own, and I was preparing for all of that. I thought I might have more kids, and so even at the age of 21, I was putting myself in a position where when I got 30, 35, 40, I would be able to provide for a family. And I think that's really important. When you talk about having kids, you want to start saving now for kids you're going to have in the future. You want to start preparing now for kids you're going to have later on. That might mean getting your education. It might mean building a business. It might mean finding a way to stack your chips so that when the baby comes along, it won't just hit you that hard. Life should not always be a struggle. You shouldn't be struggling from one situation to the next. You want to be in a situation where you're going to be okay and you can focus on the things that really matter the most in your life, like being there for your child and being a good mother and all that good stuff. The other thing I want to talk about too with Kim Kardashian and Will Smith and Jay-Z. I think these are good examples of celebrities that have had kids who've done interesting things with their kids. They also give their kids these strange names like Northwest and Blue Ivy. I mean, I'm not hating on it, but it's a little weird to me. I mean, I think if I named my daughter Blue Ivy, people would think something was wrong with me. But then again, I'm not Jay-Z, so maybe that's the privilege I just don't have. But if you notice, there's a consistent pattern here with all of their children. We're talking about Will, Kanye, and Jay. What's the pattern, besides the fact that they're all rappers? The pattern is all of their children have been linked to their financial situation on some level. If you look at Kim K and Kanye, when they announced this recent pregnancy, Kim was tweeting about her show, and then they sent out the promo for the show where she announces the baby on the show. Now, she could have said it any time. She could have mentioned it to a newspaper. She could have, tweeted it out. She didn't do that. She waited till the right time, and now she's going to get paid off of the announcement of her baby. Some people think that's exploitative. Personally, I think it's okay. I think that's fine. I mean, Kim Kardashian, we know the poor child ain't got a whole lot of talent. I still don't know what her talent is exactly, but whatever she's got, she knows how to work it. You got to give her credit for working it to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. God bless her for that. You move over to Kanye. I'm not Kanye. Jay-Z. Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Blue Ivy. Remember that Beyonce made the announcement about Blue Ivy's pregnancy while she was, I think, attending an award show, and then she showed the baby bump while she was on stage. That was not an accident. That was not a coincidence. That was them putting this childbirth, what's happening in their life, into their financial portfolio, linking it to their financial situation. And then the third example, you can go to Will and Jada. You see with Jaden and the other little girl, I forgot her name. They all got those Will Smith ears. It's kind of cute. I mean, I think it's kind of fun. I feel kind of bad for them, but they're smart kids and they're doing pretty well. So, if you gotta have big ears, then so be it. But anyway, so you look at what Will Smith and Jada are doing with their kids. It's the same thing. I mean, they've had their kids in movies. They've had their kids make music. They have their children in situations where they're adding to the family financial pot. Right now, here's a way to look at that. Right, a child is gonna have a financial implication no matter what. Even if you say, you know what, that's exploitative. I don't want my baby out here trying to make money. I don't want to be using my child for money. Well, every child has financial implications. So you're going to be spending money to raise that child no matter what. When that child turns 18, if you don't make certain decisions while the child is young, then the child will not be a financial asset for you. He or she will be a liability for you. If you don't teach a child how to manage their money, if you don't prepare them with a good education, if you don't teach them maybe how to have their own business or have a career that allows them to provide for themselves, guess who they're going to turn to for money? It's going to be you. And it may be okay to do that, to take care of your child when you're 20, 30, 40 years old. But when you are 60 and you're trying to retire, you don't want little Pookie living in your basement, sitting in his drawers all day, smoking weed and playing Xbox, and then borrow money from you every time his baby's mama want more child support. You don't want that. So the best way to prepare for that is to raise and teach your child the right financial values at an early age. Now, again, I'm not sitting here saying that it's okay that Kim and Will and all them are doing these things with their kids. That's up to you to decide. I'm not here to tell you what to think about that, but here's a way to look at it. All three of these children, or all four of them, have a career already. All of them are being set up financially by their parents in three ways. One, they're leaving them they're leaving them some wealth when their parents get old and die. Two, they're teaching their children skills that will allow them to do things that will be fulfilling and prosperous for them later on in life. And then three, they're positioning their children to be financial assets to the household as opposed to liabilities. That means that when Will Smith's kids grow up, they're not going to be calling daddy up saying, hey man, can I borrow some money? If dad is struggling money-wise, his kids might be able to help him out. I don't think that'll happen. But if your kids are built to be financial assets as opposed to liabilities, that can make a difference in your life and the life of the child. At the very least, it takes money off the table as one more thing you have to worry about. You can focus on things that actually matter more to you than money. Now, you can do the same thing. With your child, maybe your child ain't going to be a movie star, but you can teach your child how to start a business. In fact, we have a campaign at Financial Juneteenth called Plant the Seed, where we're trying to encourage as many families as possible, mostly black families, because I've been a black man for a long time now, and I care a lot about black people. Don't mean I don't care about nobody else. If you ain't black and you're watching, I care about you too, but I love my people. I'm a brother. That's what I am. But we're trying to get 1,000 black families to start businesses with their kids. It could be something small. It could just plant the seed. Don't judge the size of a tree by the size of the seed. It's like you can't judge a baby, or a human being by how big they are as a baby. The baby is going to eventually grow up. LeBron James used to be this big, but now he's big and strong, and he's making millions of dollars for his mother. So you got to think about things as planting a seed. So with your child, I encourage you to do this, and this is where I'm getting at right now. Tell your child that when they get older, they want to have their own business. Even if they work for somebody else, everybody should either run a business or own a part of a business. If you can't run one, you can own one, because you can pull your money together with other people and you can start a business together. Number two, start a business with your child. Just find something you can do together. If you do hair, if you're a hairstylist, teach your child to do hair and explain to your child how you make money doing hair, how you get clients, how you sell your services, how you market your services. Teach all that to your child right now. Start a lemonade stand. If your child likes doing stuff on the internet, find some sort of internet business you can start. There's a lot of things you can do. So what I would say to you is this, and this is the note that we can take from all the celebrities, from the Kim Ye's and the Will and Jada's and the Jay-Z, the J-Bays and all this other stuff, is make your child into an asset, not a liability, because it will pay off for the child, it will pay off for you, and everybody's going to be happy. And this is not a new idea. Farmers used to do this a long time ago. Now kids are what they call luxury items. Luxury items are things you don't really need, but you might buy, like a Gucci purse or a pair of Jordans. But commodities are what children were seen as in the past. And that would be something where that person is an asset to you. So just keep that in mind as you develop your life plan. Put your child in the life plan. Remember that your child is one of your biggest investments, your greatest assets of all time. Make sure that the asset is something that benefits you, and you do that by raising your child the right way, teaching your child the right values. So that's all I want to say. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Financial Juneteenth. Until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. I am gone. Peace.
I FaceTime him, FaceTime me, you know what I'm saying? We talked it out. I had a grudge, he had a grudge, you know what I'm saying? We killed it, put it in the middle of the flow. You know what I'm saying? It's over with now. So we working.
Bow wow.
Do I have to go through this? I'm gonna plead the fifth. See, here's what happens. You have to understand, this is like player failure. Player failure is when you call out people and then other people get afraid you might call them out.